Someone at work told me, I think it was at work, told me that you can get it like dehydrated and ground into pill form.
Yes.
And then you can consume it later.
And that's what.
Can we get like, if there's any out of the 13 of you, any doctors listening or people that are educated in this area, like why is that beneficial? Does anyone know?
I have a friend that did it.
Okay, why is it?
I will. Well,
I ate my own scabs as a kid, but that was about.
That's not the same thing.
Almost.
Kind of the same.
So close, but dangerously apart.
Pretty close.
Far apart.
I will see if we can get her on a future podcast to talk about that, because she's of like mind of us. Cassie, you know her.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I know who you're talking about. She does yoga.
No.
Oh, okay.
Different one.
Oh, okay.
So she's very funny, and when she was having this discussion, I didn't think it would be something she would like co-sign on, but I'm almost positive she did the pill form. Like, I think you send your placenta off somewhere, and they send you a bottle. What if it's not your placenta?
That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, how do you guarantee
your placenta back?
How do you guarantee this product? Like, you get a.
Oh, I can't wait to talk to her. Oh, I'm gonna call her as soon as we get off and say, hey, in a couple of weeks, come on, I need to talk about your placenta.
Also, when you're like I'm just picturing this, when you're in the labor room or whatever you would call it in the hospital giving birth, and you're like, no, save that. I don't want it for later, bro. Bring it back over here.
I brought some Tupperware for that.
Yeah. Just put it to the side. I'm going to keep it. Ugh.
And how many days do you have to have it refrigerated before it?
Do you freeze it
really becomes a problem? I don't. Okay, this is going to be awesome. I'm really excited about this. We're obviously not educated at all, but it is.
I got no idea.
We need to order this book.
Yeah, if you don't know, order the book. Go to Amazon.
Substitute chicken here, and here. Got it.
What's for dinner tonight? Right.
Nothing anymore. Wine's for dinner.
Chicken.
Yeah, tequila soup.
So, that was the good one, Brian.
Well done, sir.
I picked that one hoping that it would force us into going out there and getting some sponsors, but evidently it just created more content for us.
Sorry.
Oops.
So I haven't been to Ireland. Brian, have you?
I have not, but I am from there, so I don't have to go.
How much from there? Like 50%? 100%?
Like 100%.
Do you have a passport? Do you dual citizenship?
I have a apostrophe in my name and 2 L's. So yes,
that's nice. Yes,
1/3 of the country has got the same name as me.
Do you have dual citizenship where you have like
No.
you should. Why don't you? You can apply for that.
I'm a redneck. I live in Missouri.
Ireland is so cool though. Ireland is I really enjoy Ireland. The people are nice.
It looks like it's just full of rocks and hairy sheep.
Who doesn't love rocks and hairy sheep? What kind of monster are you? Come on. No, but genuinely, the country is beautiful. Ireland it's a beautiful country, but we spent time in Dublin. Dublin was a ton of fun. The people are super friendly. There's a lot to see and do if you love beer. Period. Like if you want to drink your ass off, Ireland's the place to go. If you want to like make quick friends, new friends are going to share every story they've ever had with you. Ireland is the place to go.
Is there anybody that goes to Ireland that just doesn't drink? Like, I mean, like it's not even on your list if you're a non-drinker, right?
No, I don't think that's a thing. No, I don't know anyone like that. Why? How dare you? I don't know.
I'm sure there are. If you would like to listen to our podcast, you do not have to be a drunk.
I mean,
I'm pretty sure if you're going to go to Ireland as a goal, then you're probably a drinker.
They had the tap water was drinkable. I drank it. I mean, you don't have to drink beer.
I don't even understand. Is that a thing? Tap water's.
Well, every country you go to, you don't know if the tap water is drinkable. Like in Spain, we buy bottled water in certain areas, and depending which country you go to, you want to make sure you're.
Well, it used to be in America too, until you go to the northern part of America. Now the tap water's not drinkable there either.
Stay out of Flint. Don't go to Flint. Get your own bottled water if you do.
I like how Brian just tried to like one up Cassie, and she quickly came back with that. Maybe I just noticed it because it doesn't happen often.
Ireland's cool. I did meet some characters there. Carson and I met some characters there. The first night we hobbled up to a little bar that was 5 people deep maybe. And we met a guy who actually, so for the podcast sake, I've been trying to get better about asking to record people for the sake of content, right? Like we have these great stories, people from different areas. And Carson keeps getting on me like, you got to record. You should record it, that, this, that. And I'm like, well, I just feel weird about asking people to record. I need to get a little more brave about it. So that night I was like, hey, because we've been talking to this guy at the bar for a good 30 minutes and we're drinking Guinness together. And I got up the courage. I'm like, hey, I have this podcast. Would you mind if I record it? Just set my phone down, voice memo it, leave it alone. He's like, actually, I prefer if you don't. I got shut down like right away the first time I actually asked somebody. He's like, no, I prefer if you don't. It's like, just, it just feels weird. So I didn't, which was a bummer because he had some cool stories. And there's a very old curmudgeony man next to him that had even better stories. I was so bummed because it would have been really good. We call him the high 4 guy because at the end of the night, like we kept giving each other high fives. But he had lost half of one of his fingers.
Yes.
Yeah. So he had pretty much 4 fingers. Like this. He had 4 fingers, maybe like this. He was actually, he was in shocker. He's in permanent shocker mode. 4 fingers.
Not chakra, shocker.
Shocker. Not cra, the female form of
we're
shocker.
not doing yoga here.
No, he had the permanent shocker, and would like say like high 4, and that was his story. He was great, but I wanted to record him, and he wouldn't let me, and he wanted me to not share a lot of his stories. So
don't let that get you discouraged.
I'm trying not to. Yeah, I'm trying not to. It's just like and everyone's gonna get shot down. So the first time it happened, cool. I just need to whatever. First time I tried, it's fine. There will be more opportunities.
We'll tell you just like we tell all the guys that go up to like, approach a woman. It's numbers, Cassie. You just got to keep on.
Well, I'm going to Prague soon. I'm going to Zurich soon. I'll be back in Barcelona next month. Like, I'll get to some content somewhere. I'll get to try again.
Good deal.
So
that was night 1.
That was night 1.
Was that with the clogger people?
No, that was on Saturday. We're going to get there.
Okay, good.
So the first night we met with that person. The next morning we woke up and walked down to a little cafe. Shout out to Rosie's Cafe in Dublin. Amazing food. Just a wonderful little cafe right outside of the center of the city. We stayed in an Airbnb. I'll send pictures. It was a great little cafe. Did everything from breakfast food to your lunch stuff, soup of the day, but really friendly staff. We were sitting there and the whole room was filled with people, mostly families, and a few amount of tourists. And this guy comes in. So we had got our coffees and I think we were sharing like a piece of banana bread or some other baked goods before our meals came out. We were just kind of talking and this guy comes in, this really tall guy. I remember this because he was abnormally tall. And he's like, do you have a pen? Do you have something I can write with? He's asking the girl behind the ordering bar. And she went rambling for something, like trying to scramble and find this pen or writing obstacle or object. And another girl comes in and you don't really see her right away. Like I didn't notice her. Carson said, hey, did you see that girl? And she walks to the back and she's talking to this, I'm going to say it this way because that's what I believe him to be, of Asian descent, this couple in the back. And she's talking super close to them. Like in their face, kind of close. And you can see they're extremely uncomfortable. And all of a sudden, before we know it, like, so we're kind of watching them. And this other guy who asked for the pen was writing on a piece of paper, but didn't look like he was actually like, writing things. He was writing things, but it didn't look like he was actually doing anything. Do you know what I mean? Like focus on something. And this guy comes from the back. It was the cook from the kitchen. He's like, you got to get out of here. What are you doing? This is a restaurant. He kicks them both out. So they leave. It took a while though. They're there for like a good 10 seconds trying to like get these people out, a very small restaurant. And they leave. You can see them outside the window. They start to walk. The woman comes up to the woman that runs the cash register, comes up and talks to the couple. They were pretty much intruding on their space, saying, sorry that happened. Do you have everything? And the kid's like patting himself down. And he's like, my phone. So he takes off running, and the cook comes out. He's like, "What's wrong?" And he's like, "They took my phone." This couple, it was so insane. Like, this poor guy takes off running, and 3 people out of the cafe follow him out of the bar, take off running with him down the street because this girl jacked his phone. So this guy and girl were working together to steal shit from tourists, and they were the most obvious tourists in that restaurant. Like, everyone else looked like just basic white people. Honestly, that's what it looked like. And then this poor Asian couple was sitting there, and they like targeted them. You could see they were beelining for them. Jacked the phone. I think they're probably going for like a wallet or something that was sitting on the table, but took their shit and then ran. And when the guy got back, he's like, they hopped in a car around the corner and they left. Like, we don't know how to even possibly start looking for our stuff. So we watched this Asian couple get robbed on our first full morning. It was kind of sad, but it wasn't like the highlight of the trip, but it was just weird. It was very strange to see it all happen.
So I know you did what I know my husband would be like, we're not leaving Ireland without going to Guinness. And
which was so cool.
You guys did that?
Yes. Oh my God, it was so cool. This is my second time doing it, and I had even more fun on this round than I did the last time. It's a very well-designed experience, which is a museum experience, but it's extremely well-designed. There are multiple levels. I think there are 7 total. So you start at the base where they kind of walk you through how beer is made, yada, 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 the materials. And then as you work your way up, you get more and more drunk. And then you get to the Skyref bar, which is like a 360 view of Ireland, which is super fucking rad. But we were in the tasting room, which was, I think, the 3rd or 4th level, where they give you a free taster. So you get, I think it was 3 beers each, like 3 mini beers each to taste, because they brew a variety of beers there. And we're hanging out at this like mini table. It was packed. It's like a nightclub almost, with a little more lights because people got to see. And music's going. They have a DJ. And all of a sudden the guy's like, hey, one of the servers comes around, like, can you clear this table? We need it for about 5 minutes. We're like, cool. So we clear the table, go over somewhere else. And in the middle of this tasting, this drummer comes out. He's in a kilt. He's got a beautiful red, very Irish beard. And he's got a leather vest on and a drum. So he's like in Scottish daddy mode. Like, if you like men in kilts, man, he was wearing the fuck out of that kilt. So he comes out, and he's like,
Scottish daddy mode.
It's a thing, Brian. Google
That's
it.
hashtag Scottish daddy mode.
Which is funny because I'm in Ireland, so figure that one out.
Yeah, I don't know why you went Scottish. That's why.
He seems Scottish to me. I don't know.
Okay.
I've never been to Scotland, but I figure that's what he was doing. So he comes out and he starts drumming. I have a thing for drummers. He started drumming and he's doing his thing and everyone's into it and he's kind of interacting with the crowd. About a minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes in, all of a sudden the mini tables I was referencing earlier, dancers, like the crew, the serving staff, were also like river dancers, Irish step dancers. They hopped onto these little mini tables and started stepping. I have video of this, so we'll share that. Started stepping.
Yes.
It was so fucking cool. Like, it made my whole weekend watching them just step, because then they had 6 to 10 people on stage, like of the crew, jump on stage, and they danced in formation. And then they had the Irish step dancing blocks, I'll call them, around the room. So you had like these random floating dancers also stepping with the drummer. It was such a cool experience.
I'm so glad you got a video of it.
Yeah.
I hate sometimes people can't live in the moment, but in this situation, we are talking to a bunch of people that will never have the opportunity to go to Ireland, possibly. So we will be posting that on our Instagram page. We'll shoot it over in story. We'll try to post it, but we'll also highlight it. And so under episode hints. So please do check us out on Instagram and Twitter at It Got Weird Pod. And how was transportation in Ireland?
It was not bad. It was, we took public transportation once, only once, because we went out to like a little, not island, like little peninsula where they serve really good seafood. We took it out there and we met this couple on our way back, and the woman was so bloody drunk, like tipping over on the train. And the guy was super nice. They were English. But she asked us, she stole 4 glasses When I say glasses, I mean like drinking glasses.